welcome to another Skates and Coffee.
We're back
Boom, we're back from the States.
from the States. Nice
And
cups.
we have to give a shout out to Rich, who bought us these Texan style coffee mugs that we can use. So yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty cool. It was nice to meet Rich and now to have coffee.
That's nice.
Nice kick to it.
Yeah.
So the beans are donated by Marc, good friend of mine, who obviously watches the episodes of Skates and Coffee, and decided to just send me a gift with all beans and stuff made in Germany. So
Very nice.
yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah. So
Good
yeah,
stuff, Mark.
good stuff. Anyway.
All right.
So yeah, you just told me we never did a Skates and Coffee on your pro skate.
No, we never did. We obviously dropped the video
Yeah.
of the pro skate and we talked about the skate there, but it never got to this personal level
Yeah,
about
true.
talking about skate. Yeah.
Totally forgot about it. Actually, I think the all-consuming trip with the shakedown and everything on that skate was like.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to see. So. How did the skate, like, how old is it now? It's been like...
I've been skating these since January,
Yeah.
something like that. So 3 to 4 months now.
Yeah,
And they're holding up amazingly.
yeah.
Even better than I expected in the first place.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? It looks like it's a fragile skate,
Yeah,
right? Even
does.
when I make it, and when you
Yeah.
have it first in your hands, it's
Yeah.
like even more
Even
than
the
with
weight,
the... Yeah,
and it's very slim around the edges, and first thing you think is, when is this gonna break? But
yeah.
so far I had some toe bashes into concrete walls.
Really
and
big ones, yeah,
Big
yeah.
ones, heel bashes too, and
There's, to be honest, like
No
all this can
splintering.
be polished out and resurfaced.
there's like no splinters, and it still feels smooth. when
Yeah,
you-
nothing really went into the carbon, which is
No.
nice to see. We had, of course, the testing of Superleggera in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, but still making the skate for only aggressive audience
Yeah.
was that's why we did all the testing with the different sole plates and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we did quite a lot of work in the reinforcement of the shell. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not like
true.
the shell from 2 years ago. Superveloce is like totally very rigid. Build quality, let's say it like
Yeah.
that. And I'm very happy to see, like, it's the first time I know that you visit again and that I see how they're holding up. Even the sole plate and the material. I think we can talk a bit about this, right? We can
Yeah,
talk about
for sure,
that it's a one-off sole plate only made for this, co-developed with Jelle.
Yep.
We also redid the sliders, which is a one-piece. Yes, it's more expensive, especially combined with the flat frame in aluminium, but it is a high-performance skate. And if you look into other branches of the industry, even outside of the industry, it's crazy that these skates, to be honest, I make them, so I know.
Yeah.
They're even cheap, to be honest. Like, if you see the quality and the performance on the skate, from the bolts to every part being developed for this skate, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, how is it to skate? Like, what's because the sole plates, like, they last, like...
Yeah, they last just as long as the
Yeah.
other symmetric
Yeah.
sole plates.
Yeah.
And they slide the same, they feel the same
Yeah.
overall. And yeah, it's quite amazing that they hold up this well.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it, because we did test different materials, and this has more of a nylon base into it, which is similar.
And we did also a lot of testing on skate parks, and now I've been skating them on the streets also
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
intensively.
Yeah.
I don't treat them like for the skates what they are.
Yeah.
I treat them
Which
like
probably other people will. Cause
they
it's
probably will,
yeah.
but I treat them like my Brutale aggressive skates, and
Yeah.
I think it's a really good test. And as I think they can be treated this way because they're holding up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I skate quite a lot street now too, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and this is really like I'm really happy about it because we put in extra layers to be sure because I was like, okay, we don't need any accidents or whatever, but to see it holding up like this, good. We have a special coating on there that is more rigid and more solid and durable, and so and you can actually tell. Something that we did change. You mentioned like you scuffed a bit the logo up.
Yeah.
That was maybe my part because we did the logos and I was trying out like a thin coating over it. And now the production ones, they have 3 times the coating that this one actually has. Because here you don't touch it, but even now you could feel that if you would scuff it, the logo would get hit. So on one layer was not good enough, as we can see. But that's why, of course, it's a test. And the nice thing is they can always be repaired, which is also very cool, actually. So it's not like you're buying a skate for a short amount of time. So
no, I'm very curious how they will like hold up over the years and how they will feel and look after like a year of testing.
Yeah,
we did a lot of testing on skate parks.
Yeah, exactly.
And skating street and skating skate park is so different.
Yeah,
a lot more
Yeah.
dumb stuff happens on street skating.
And it's your daily skate.
Yeah.
Right? So it's this is what you use. You skate a lot. Nice to see the difference in the nylon holding up really well, like on the straps. That was one of the things we changed for 2023.
Yeah.
We also have the pads, like the Nubuck pads on top of the lining that you can see they have wear, but it's not like they're going through. So that's very nice. That's really good, like it's working. So how's the liner compared to? You can be bold about this because it is. I know how it is on a Superleggera.
Yeah,
it's. I have a GTO now. It is an amazing skate. It's so hard to tell the difference, but it's a different world, right?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about this whole skate, explaining to other people how it feels.
Yeah,
because it's something you just have to experience.
Yeah,
and the lining is way more rugged. It's way stiffer. It needs time to warm up, and after like 2 or 5 minutes, your feet get warm, and then the padding gets soft also, and then it's really nice and comfortable.
But that's the crazy thing about this design is that the cuff is basically like a supportive cuff, but the entire skate, if you can see this, can totally flex forward more than the Brutale, basically.
Yeah, my flex forward is 10
totally
times better.
Yeah.
I can now squat on my skates, which I
could
do it,
but
it's hard, and now it's like easy.
Yeah, because that's the genius thing about this that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
is that top part can move within this skeleton shell basically, and that's how it works. And it's like the Salomon skate back in the day that had the design of a cuff, but it didn't have a cuff because it was bolted, so it wasn't moving. It had some lateral, like sideways flex. But so everybody was thinking, and the first shadow, same thing. The difference is with this, that this piece you can actually, I don't think you can see it, but this can flex inside of this.
I would say the flex is just as good as any other skate.
More controlled.
There's also the first question. One of the first questions I get every time people see the skate and hold it, like, how's the flex?
Yeah,
and it's
an aggressive thing to ask.
I mean, I still front torque ledges and top
exactly.
ledges, and it's fine.
Yeah, me and Olga were always like we're posting stuff like this because of it's the aggressive thing to ask. Is like the first thing they do is like, it's too hard.
Squeeze the side.
Yeah, and then they do this. I don't know any leg that flexes inwards. Like anyway, but yeah,
they bite the toe box.
Yeah. I'm like, is it?
I don't know.
How's that plastic? That sounds like this. No. Anyway, we're just making some fun here, but yeah, it is a very developed, aggressive skate, and of course it's an expensive skate. If you would know how many hours of work go into this, it's almost a steal, to be honest. That was one of the things, like I told you, so you have two pairs in the running, and we work with a system that, because of course it's pro skater, you need to have skates all the time.
Yeah.
So our plan was to work with 2 sets of shells, and then we could always, once one of the skates needs some work or something would, I don't know, let's say refurbished, you would bring in the other one and then we give you this one back. But I didn't expect it to hold up the way it did, which is amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, I was, most of the time I was scared of the carbon getting splintered. Yeah. And when you grab, you get a carbon splinter.
Yeah,
that's what I was scared of.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't happen.
Can always happen with carbon. The thing is, this is a pre-preg carbon, so it's like a very high-end. The way we produce it is different than the Brutalis. With the Brutalis, it's like a wet lay fiber, basically, which is also just carbon. But it can, this is more, it becomes like one solid construction, basically. So yeah, very interesting. So what about the one-piece slider? I know it's, so for the people that don't know, we have the aluminium frame that is the same dimensions as the plastic frame, only it's more smooth on the roll. It's a bit more heavy, but then I do like how it feels when landings. I like when a frame has all the weight to it and the boot is super light. Yeah. And Julian Ba actually got a Superleggera after asking for 3 years. He finally got one and I made it for him. And he said the same thing. So it's not a Superveloce, it's a Superleggera. But with the frame weight, he said the boot is so light. It's like you don't feel it, but you feel the frame, which gives it like a very nice, roll. Yeah, is that the same?
It gives it a very, when you push and jump, it gives it a very snappy feeling.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing.
Yeah. How did you feel about the edit that came out? Because it was a different idea, right?
Yeah,
maybe
it was a different take on your standard skate edit, and I liked it. It showed a bit of the process, how we looked at it, and how we tested the skate. And I really liked the shots that were made too in America. Yeah,
I got a bit emotional when I saw it. When Olga was working on it, and I saw some like snippets during her work on it, and then in the end we always watch it together to refine it. But it's nice to see where we come from after all those years. It's funny that we go to the US, and sometimes a trip for me feels like work, even though we don't try to make it feel like work. It still feels like that. I have a lot of stress because you're just skating and testing and whatever. And me, I'm always, you know how I am, I'm thinking about, is this good enough? Is this strong enough? And you're just skating.
Yeah, we definitely went there with a mission to finish something. Yeah. And even though we told each other no pressure, there was pressure.
It's always the same. It's like, we're just gonna chill, just gonna have a nice holiday, and then the rain, then me feeling I had like the food poisoning thing, and it was all a bit much. I have to say that one morning that you like said, I told you like from the downhill, that is your last trick into the section. that was when you said like, okay, let's go. We're just gonna go outside and let's do it. That made the trip like all worth it for me. That was so fun, and to see that one as the last trick you had in the video, it's just so raw, and it's fun. You hear the moped of. It's almost like you're making that sound like the, but it's just a scooter. So
yeah, that was definitely a nice moment.
Yeah,
good memory.
Yeah. Well, we're building some for some customers actually. This month, this build slot, we're building some of the Superveloces with your name on it. Next month also, and later I have to check. But yeah. I think it's like with any new product, people kind of tend to see how it goes.
And I understand. It's a very new thing. And I understand people can be skeptical about it. It's not for everybody, and that's fine. We didn't make the skate to be meant for everybody.
No, it should be because it's the best aggressive skate.
I mean, unbiased opinion, but yes. And thank you for making them, and thank you everybody who supports this product. It's definitely been an amazing experience so far.
Yeah. Do you know, when we came out with the first one, the Ben Hermanus, and we got so much, people were like outraged on the price.
Yeah.
It was a boot only for 350 euros, and people were, it was insane.
No.
What are these guys thinking, And I think this is the same with this.
Yeah, people get used to it eventually.
Yes, it's like people will get used to it. It's the same with the bike industry. An actual proper race bike is 10 to 15,000 euros these days.
Yeah.
And then you don't have your shoes. You need the shoes that work with it, everything.
I mean, in every range of sports, there have been luxury brands and more high-end brands.
Yeah.
And I think Adept's is one of those high-end brands.
Don't you feel like when you go to let's say, at the moment you're not doing this anymore, but you used to go to FES, and I went with you as well one time. And so you have all these guys with the UCI, with the nice rules and everything, and they have those bikes are not cheap.
No.
They're like between 3,000 to 5,000 euros actually. That they're using at FES, and because of all the parts, putting it all together. And then you have aggressive skating, and for me that's like the thing. It's like, why does it always have to be like, I don't know, I have a hard time with this, because I want to see the sport like where there's budget and people care about technology, and then you can see like people are skating on a skate, they're the top of the world, and they're skating on a skate that is costing like 200, 300 euros maybe. And then you have you, finally, of course. You were always the one on the more expensive skates because they're Adept. But I don't get it. Like literally, I don't get it. It's like you're doing this because you love it.
Yeah.
So if you're doing competitions or FES or whatever, you should have proper gear, like the solid, like all nice gear.
Think. But I think it's hard to compare to other sports because in other sports there's way bigger sponsors and people that care a lot more. I guess, I don't know, but
it's weird. I think it's
funny to see.
It is, yes,
it's a bit of a middle finger to everybody.
I know. That's what we always do. We're like whatever. We're just doing whatever we want to do, basically. Yeah, exactly. And if you like it, then you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
That's fine too.
That's fine too. But still, like the young Peter inside is like, I always wanted to go into a skate shop and be. The first time I had the idea of like Adept needing to be like high end was I walked into a snowboards shop. Me and Olga went actually. No, it was before. We went to a skate shop, looking at the skates. We're like, okay, whatever. And then we went to a snowboard shop, and there was this glass booth with like boots in it, and they were 3,000 euros. I was like, yeah, that's cool. You know, that's like, it's not about the money. You could see the craft. You could see that it's like,
of course.
It was new technologies and they're pushing stuff. But yeah, we just came from a store that is like selling, different stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we did this project, and we're not gonna stop doing stuff like this. We're always gonna try and push boundaries, and I hope you're still like motivated to be around with Adapt.
Yes.
And who knows what's next?
Who knows?
Adamantium, or
once you think it's perfect, it's never perfect.
It's never
always
perfect.
going to be better.
Yeah. But these year they're perfect for the customers that get these, of course.
I mean, as long you think you know and then you don't know, and it's a constant loop.
Yeah.
This is perfect, and then you come up with something better, and then it's, this is perfect.
But even if you're riding for Adapt, would you say this is like the best skate you ever skated?
Yes.
And I think we need another coffee, and that's how we're going to end this conversation.
We're going to end this right here.
Perfect.
All right,
cool. All right.